We have got to start being the most serious people on the planet. Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Max Clark Show, where we talk about things that matter. And today, we are, you know what? First things first, let's take care of a little housekeeping. The Max Clark Show is brought to you by the Clark Center for Civics, Politics, and Global Affairs. That's the Clark Center for Civics, Politics, and Global Affairs. You can follow them on Facebook at the Clark Center. And also, the Max Clark Show is brought to you by Our Tiny Little Kitchen Catering and Barbecue. That's Our Tiny Little Kitchen Catering and Barbecue. And you can follow them on Facebook and Instagram as well. And before we get started, do me a favor. I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that thumbs up. And I want you to hit that bell so you can get notifications of when I put out and produce new content such as this. This is a show that you don't want to miss today. You want to be here for this one, okay? So don't leave. Don't turn it off. I need you to sit down for a few minutes and just listen to say, because it's very, very important as it relates to what's going on in our community. Now, about a year or two ago, I believe about 2 years ago, I attended an event with my wife, and I can't remember who was hosting the event. However, these two gentlemen were at this event, Dr. Daniel Cooper and Dr. Ryan Lugalia Holland. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. Now, they came up with this concept called Chicago's $1 Million Blocks. And I'm sure they're doing that all across the nation, and it's not just for Chicago. So if you're listening to this and you're in another major city, definitely check and see if there's $1 million block in your community. Now, the reason why I wanted to show you this, and I wanted this to be kind of interactive, I wanted to pull up the website, okay? And I think what I'm going to start doing Wednesdays, not this Wednesday, probably going to start next Wednesday. Stay tuned to the Max Clark Show for details. And I think we're going to start doing website Wednesdays, because there are a lot of websites out there that we really don't take the time to explore. And there's websites such as this that when you see the data behind it, you will want to explore and possibly, hopefully, take some action as it relates to what's going on in your community, or just different opportunities that you can take advantage of. All right, now let's just hop right into it. Okay, so this $1 million block concept is basically digging all of the communities that are affected, high crime, low income communities. Now, as it relates to drug-related offenses and nonviolent offenses, this dives into money, the billions of dollars that are put into the criminal justice system, that are put into incarceration on these different neighborhoods in our community. Now, once you see this, you're going to be blown away. Trust me, you're going to be blown away. You'll be blown away at how much money is spent on incarceration on your block. So after we're done with this show, and you hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button and the bell, and you tell a friend, you go to chicagosmilliondollarblocks.com. That's chicagosmilliondollarblocks.com. And you explore this website, and you're going to find a wealth of information. All right. So here we are. They have the About section pretty much last on their website, but it should be first, so you can to know who these gentlemen are and the resources that they use to gather all this data and put it out there for us to see, and then we can research the researcher, right? Kind of fact check the fact check. So, as it says on the screen, this project is by Dr. Daniel Cooper and Dr. Ryan Lugalia Halone or Holland, with the guidance and hands-on support of DataMade. Dr. Cooper, he's an executive and co-executive director of the Institute of Social Exclusion at Adler University, where he actively supports community-based alternatives to incarceration and detention. Dr. Ryan is a Texas-based writer and strategist. DataMade, who they worked on this project with, is a civic technology that helps leaders and organizations tell their stories through interactive data visualizations. Okay, so DataMade, hey, they're all right with me because I'll show you all how this interactive map works. That's to the left of your screen. You know, you're going to be surprised. Matt Barrington is a research assistant at Adler School of Professional Psychology. And this project draws from years of scholarship and practice by Laura Kurgan of the Spatial Information Design Lab and Eric Kadora of the Justice Mapping Center, who have since coining the term $1 million blocks, helped reframe the public debate around community justice in cities across the country. And it breaks down how they came up with all this data. So that's where the methodology comes in. And it says this map is based on data obtained by the Chicago Justice Project. Okay, so all of this that is highlighted in red, you guys need to check that out. You guys need to click that when you go to the website. Click that and check that out. Okay, click that and check that out. Now, the came from the Chicago Justice Project from the Cook County Circuit Court. So this is where all the information is coming from. All right, so they're not just throwing out data that they didn't get from, you know, firsthand sources, you know. All right, so it represents all adult convictions between the years of 2005 and 2009. Now, I know it's 2019, but you can just imagine this data here from 2005 to 2009, just a span of 4 years. Once you see, you know, you can just imagine what the data is today. Okay, it said for each conviction, we have data for what the offense was, the length of the sentence, and the offender's residential address. Okay, we derive dollar amount sentence lengths. Our cost assumptions is that on average, the Illinois Department of Corrections spends approximately $22,000 per year for each inmate. Life sentences are calculated based on average life expectancy. $22,000 per year for each inmate. That's a cash cow. High crime, low income communities is a cash cow for the state, ladies and gentlemen. So all of you out there who are banging in the hood, selling dope in the hood, trying to keep it real and all that other nonsense, you're just a pawn. You may think you're high and mighty to a few. There's a special plan for you. Okay? There's a special plan for you at a cost of $22,000 per year, per person. Time you go in, $22,000. You gotta think about it. You gotta start changing your ways. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. All right, so moving forward, it says our calculation is conservative. That calculation is a conservative calculation, so that they could be off by thousands. That all those convicted will only serve their minimum sentence. Okay, so that's just that is based off a minimum sentence, and we all know how that works. It's, you know, a lot of times it's a maximum type of deal, right? With us, more than a minimum. So the actual length of time served could be longer. For people with multiple offenses, we only use the sentence from the most severe offense. This excludes some sentences from our calculations. It means that our drug incarceration figures represent strictly non-violent offenders. We also exclude court and policing costs, which are substantial. So this is just a base scale of how much money is being put into this situation here. It says the code for this project is open source and available on GitHub. Okay, again, the code for this project is open source and available on GitHub. Okay, let's get into it. Go to the intro. Right here, it says $1 million blocks. Illinois spending on incarceration is ineffective and costly to all. There are better ways to invest public dollars. So, Illinois has $1 billion in unpaid bills, and it's more than that because this was a few years ago. And we are in a fiscal crisis. Okay, now we were at an impasse for a while. At one point, at the General Assembly in Springfield, we were at an impasse at one point. I mean, they weren't even paying out lottery winners. Okay, so it's some serious mishandling of funds going on, while at the same time they're putting billions into incarcerating our people. In 2015, Illinois committed $1.4 billion to the Department of Corrections, and that number is on the rise despite declining crime levels. So we all know the crime levels, it's, sort of meanders, goes up and down. But it's at any rate $1.4 billion to the Department of, they are expecting a influx of inmates to come in to the Department of Corrections. So they call it a war on neighborhoods. They hand out harsh sentences for all types of offenses. They give these sentences overwhelmingly to Chicagoans who live in our segregated low-income neighborhoods on the west and south sides. Now, if you live in the Austin neighborhood, where I grew up at, if you live in the Humboldt Park neighborhood I work at, and if you live in the North Lawndale community, which is where I drive through to get to my job, or West Inglewood, where I don't live too far from right now, and Roseland as well, you need to be watching this and you need to share this with friends and family. As a relates to the community, now this is back then, this is a few years ago, $550 million. That's $500 million that's being into incarceration. Low-level, nonviolent offense, $293 million in Humboldt Park. Well, let's go back. To be accurate, 550,234,592 in Austin community. Humboldt Park, 292,506,638. North Lawndale, 240 million. 683,262. West Inglewood, 197,168,151. And Roseland, 159,211,446. It's over $1 billion put into incarcerating us. Over $1 billion. That's why they're called $1 million blocks. Okay, that's why they're called $1 million blocks. And you know what? I'm going to get to this section here, where we go to our evidence, right? Research and evidence. Incarceration has been has had a devastating impact on low-income African American neighborhoods. Starting with the identification of $1 million blocks in early 2000s, researchers have been identifying hotspots for mass incarceration. From this analysis, an emerging census has developed Incarceration has had a devastating impact on low-income African-American neighborhoods. Meanwhile, more affluent and white areas have gone largely unscathed. Surprise. If you're surprised, I'm surprised. So nowhere in this national trend more clear than in Chicago. Not only are the highest incarceration rates concentrated on the city's west and south side, but this spatial unevenness constant for more than 2 decades. As a result, most urban residents with felony convictions come from and return to a small number of neighborhoods. The impact on residents is dramatic. Parts of Chicago's west side, nearly 70% of men between the ages of 18 and 54 are likely to have been subject to the criminal justice system. You don't even have to rewind that because I'm going to say it again. Parts of Chicago's west side, nearly 70% of men between ages 18 and 54 are likely to have been subject to the criminal justice system. That is absolutely a phenomenal statistic. That's phenomenal. And we wonder why we have the high crime that we have in our communities. When you have incarceration rates at that age and at that rate, that's why. It's a revolving door. Especially when you get felonies. You get a felony, it's a wrap. There's really much that you can do but stand on a block and try to get some money by selling drugs or robbing people and things like that, and you get caught and you get to go back in again, and that's another $22,000, smacked on you. All right, so you think you're out there making money and a couple dollars to buy a pair of Jordans, but the real pimps is this system that's got the $22,000 base price bounty on your head. It says we are unjustly punishing people for their circumstances, not just their action. So, say the mass incarceration definitely targets specific places and is driven by much more than behavior of people within any given locale. Research has made clear that local crime levels are not purely responsible for incarceration rates. In other words, we are not simply punishing people for the crimes they commit. We are also punishing them for the places where they live, the schools that failed them, and the employers that rejected them. And without question, we are punishing them for the darkness of their skin. These factors work together to shape who gets portrayed as a criminal. Such portrayals. I'm telling you guys, this website is phenomenal. I love it. It's very insightful. Go to chicagosmilliondollarblocks.com, chicagosmilliondollarblocks.com. Go there after you watch the video, and after you hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, and that bell button so you can get notifications of when I come out with new videos. This is absolutely, it's amazing once you look at it. And once you get to going through this map, and when you go through the area in which you grew up in, you're going to be amazed at how much money is being put into your block to incarcerate the people in the community. Let's scroll down a little bit. Incarceration has been shown. Oh, didn't I? Oh, no, yes. Incarceration has been shown to be an ineffective solution to reducing crime, and now more so than ever. In Illinois, more than 50% of prisoners eventually return to prison within 3 years. What's more recent, research shows that prison cycling, constant cycling of people in and out of prison in neighborhoods like Chicago's west and south sides. Again, like I said, it's a revolving door. People going in and out, in and out. And every time you go, ladies and gentlemen, you're out there on the block doing all this wild stuff. You're the prostitute. That's the only way. That's the only way that I can use it. You think out here, man, Joe, just gotta do what I gotta do, man. I'm out here in these streets. You're a prostitute. You're a prostitute. The system is pimping you. Period. Point blank. You don't even make $22,000 in a year hustling, but this system does. Oh, let me pick him up. That's 22K. Easy. Easy. They don't think they don't know you out there hustling. They know what you're doing. You sitting out there trying to hide the drugs in another place. So while you're standing out in the middle of the street, the cops roll up on you. You ain't got nothing. They know what you're doing. They know what you're doing. You're getting pimped. You're killing your own people. Selling drugs to your own people. And you're getting pimped. It's a shame. It's a shame. Because y'all think y'all doing something out here. The joke is on you. No doubt. So, real quick, let me go to alternatives. So, they present some alternatives or solutions, to what we can do as it relates to this $1 million block, phenomenon. Now, I know you're probably thinking, hey, Max, just come on, I gave you the juicy part, but I know you're ready for me to get to this interactive map. You really have to check this website out. As it relates to alternatives to incarceration, they say some of the effective approaches are things such as workforce development, addiction treatment, mental health diversions. Right here it says beyond low-hanging fruit. It says while addiction treatment and mental health diversion programs are absolutely essential, they do not actively rebuild healthy economies in high incarceration areas. As demonstrated by organizations like the Delancey Street Foundation, rebuilding local economies requires a more fundamental approach to criminal justice reform. True justice reform must go beyond common sense, low-hanging fruit options such as reductions in sentences for low-level offenders. Although this is an important component of reform, drug reforms alone will not go far enough to reverse the effects that incarceration has had on urban neighborhoods. A more successful reform agenda will include deeper reforms for all types of offenses, stronger reinvestment into solutions that will actually improve communities. Okay, so once you think about it, it's more than just, hey, we need jobs, because it's deep. This generation that's out here now is like they're killing for sport. It's like they're killing for sport. All right. Hey, you can ding me for that, but it's incredible the amount of crime that goes on. And when you look at it, these people are being murdered and they still have their wallets and their money on them. So they're not killing them for something else is going on. Something else is going on that's not about, at least for, this particular group of people who are out here committing all these crimes, it's not about the money, because they're not even robbing the people that they're killing. So it goes beyond the low-hanging fruit, such as things like jobs and education. It's something more. But that's why we got the Solution Factory. You guys can comment below in a solution factory and talk to me about what other effective approaches that we can take to, bringing this crime level drastically. All right, now we're going to go to this full map, okay? We're going to go to this map. See if this comes up here. Now, when you go to this map, guys, so if you see right here in your upper right-hand corner, you have drug-related offenses, and then you have all offenses. So, and right here on your upper left-hand corner, you can zoom in. Just click that there a couple times. I hope this is not getting too big for your screen, but I think I'm going to keep it at that. So, if we look at drugs, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over and find what area I grew up in, okay, which was in the Austin community, right? So look at, okay, we got Oak Park, we got Roosevelt, you can see Central Park up in there, Garfield Park, Circle over there. What else do we have? We got Austin. So grew up in this area over here. So down here, you will find, once you hover over whatever neighborhood or street, it's going to tell you the drug-related costs. Or we'll click on all offenses. It's going to the total cost. Okay, so we're going to go start with drug-related first. All right, so the area I grew up in is right over in here. All right, I don't want to blow it up too big because I don't want it to look all crazy on your screen. But we're going to, for instance, so drug-related offenses is $441,000. All right, so I'm going to click on all offenses, and I'm going to go back to that area, and it's $661,000 in total offenses right there. So, well, that's in the Austin area. That's just like one block or one house, one area right there on that block. So here, same block, $475,000. If you look back to the lower right corner of your screen, $475,000 for all offenses. Now let's go back and check the drug offenses for that same area. $13,000, $666. So you look at all this. Look at this whole map. This is just Austin area. We haven't gotten to Humboldt Park and North Lawndale and Roseland and West Inglewood. We haven't gotten to those areas yet. Let's see. Look at this. Look at this. Here we go. South Lawndale over here. $74,000 for drug-related costs. And we got all offenses, $1,646,000. 1.6 million. Let me go back. Drug-related, $374,000. All offenses, $1.6 million. Look at that. $1.6 million. This is why it's called $1 million blocks. All right. Come on, let's get some more. Show you. Here we go. Total cost. Now this is over in about Garfield Park area. You can see that. All right. Right off the expressway. Right off the expressway. That $834,000 total. Drug related. $446,000. Almost half a $1 billion. We still on the west side. We are still on the west side. Look at this. Let's go over here. $149,000 for drug related. $481,000 total offenses. Total cost in this area, $1.6 million. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, listen. This is money being spent, being put into incarcerating the people in the community. For them to put in over $1 billion, it would make someone who doesn't know our people, it'll make them think that that all of us are just straight animals. However, there's a failed justice system out there that we live under that incarcerates but doesn't the former prisoner to reacclimate themselves back into society, because it's set up to be a revolving door. All right. And this is just a base number. This isn't, the whole total base number. All right. Let me keep going. Let's find some other areas. Here we go. Let me get right here. Now look, we're in the Edgewater community. 1.2 million. All offenses. 100,000 drug related. Look at this. You guys, you have to go to this, and you can pull a map up and find out where you live and see how much money is being put into your community. Find out where your mom lives, or your friends, your aunts, where you work, the area where you work. If you're working in the community, you'll get a chance to see how much money is being put into that area to incarcerate people. And think about it. If billions of dollars are being put into incarcerating people in the community, why is there no effective change shown in that community? Again, that's because it's a revolving door. All right. So yeah, guys, I really didn't want to keep you long. I don't know how much time I've been on, but go to this website, ChicagosMillionDollarBlocks.com. ChicagosMillionDollarBlocks.com. I'm not getting paid for this to, keep saying or promoting this, but this is something that we need to know. This is something that we need to know, and we need to ask questions. All right. We have a new mayor, Lori Lightfoot, who's in office, and we need to talk to her about this. Hey, you guys are putting billions of dollars. We have a new governor. Hey, you guys are putting billions of dollars into the community for incarceration, but nothing's changed. The community is getting worse. So what's the plan? What's the plan? All right. And the matrix of it all is you getting a felony. You get a felony, it's over with. But stay in that revolving door. Stay going around and round and round. You keep getting that $1,000 every time you go in, and that's on the at $22,000. That's the base number. That's the base number. Okay, guys. So yeah, look at this all over the city. Look at this. And these are just drug-related offenses. All this is just drug-related offenses all over the city. Okay, all over the city. So take the time, check the website out again. And now this is all offenses. Okay, all offenses. So when you see that little, I don't know what color that is, like a brownish or whatever it is, with the pink, that's all offenses with drug-related offenses combined. All right, guys. So, hey, make sure you stay tuned in to the Max Clark Show Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Um, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, hit that bell, tell a friend. Let's get these conversations started. We got to attack this at the state and local level. Again, I've said in previous videos, we are in a position, black folks are in a position to where we can hold our black elected accountable. We literally run the state and the city from the top to the bottom. Okay? From the top to the bottom. Lieutenant governor to the state's attorney, to the attorney general, to the Cook County, to the mayor, to the president of the Cook County board. We have a black police chief. We even have a black fire commissioner. I mean, we even have a black chief judge. I mean, come on, guys. It's from the top to the bottom. So now it's time to sit down with everybody and start to chip away at this, because this is incredible. Billions of dollars put into incarceration and not enough money put into restoration. All right, guys, as always, hey, we need to start being some of the most people on the planet. We have an opportunity to affect change. Love somebody, but more importantly, love yourself. And again, tune in to the Max Clark Show Tuesdays at 7 p.m.